So typically for these kind of videos, I write a script. You know, I kind of go off of the script, and you know, that's how I determine the flow of the video. You know what? I don't need a script. Okay, and it's not because I'm awesome at just ad-libbing or you know, just making stuff up on the fly. It's because I'm so excited about my Tamir's Lash. It's crazy. It's crazy excited. That's the only thing I wanted. You know, it's funny is the last Iron Banner, I grinded for it. You know, I thought that it was on the loot table. I didn't understand that it was only the past weapons that were going to be able to drop. The Galilean's Demise, and I forgot what the other one is. But, whew, got a yawn there. But, so I did all this grinding, went crazy, no drops. Come to find out that it wasn't going to drop, and if I just would have went on Reddit, I'd have figured that out anyway. I don't know why I don't just go there for all my informational needs at all times before I try stuff. I'm stupid. Anyway, so when I first heard that they were going to make Tamir's Lash a drop this time, I was, oh my God, I was ecstatic. I couldn't believe it. You know, for me, that's the only thing I've ever really wanted out of Iron Banner. And not to say that I don't love PvP, which I do. I just, you know, I just would prefer not to have to grind it out for that short period of time. You know what I mean? To get to level 5. Now, if it was like level 4, obviously it's not that big of a deal. But I prefer not to play on the weekends. You know, it's me and my girl's time. So, you know, I try to look at it as though all I have is from Tuesday to Friday. So I got to put in some serious grinding if I'm looking to get to level 5. But anyway, Tamir's Lash, it is everything that I wanted it to be. You know, I think a lot of people will actually pass up on this or will be underwhelmed when they originally pick it up, especially if it's unleveled, because my God, that stability. It's like you're looking up at the sky every time you shoot it. But, you know, if you get the right perks and you roll it correctly, it has the potential to feel like an exotic at times. You know, I played some games last night with it, and this is one of those games that I'm actually going to be attaching it to, and it just hits so hard. I don't know if you've seen it yet by now, but that 127 critical damage for the Luck in the Chamber, oh my God. Thing is crazy. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about first what my roles are, and you know, what I consider to be the best role in the game. To be honest with you, and not speaking from bias, I think that I rolled the best version of this hand cannon that you could possibly have. So for my first perk, you know, I rolled Outlaw. It's a similar one that's on Fatebringer. It just, whenever you get precision shots, it makes your reload insanely fast. Okay, now this is nice because, you know, this gun reloads pretty much. It reminds me of like the pre-buff Thorn, to be honest with you. It's heart-wrenchingly slow, especially when you're in the middle of battle. So this is nice. You know, if anything, it makes it viable for PvE because you're not reloading half of the time that you're actually playing. If you pop one headshot, you can just you know, instant reload and be ready for battle. It makes the DPS go through the roof. Now, you won't necessarily see it as much in the Crucible, but, you know, it's something to note that it will give you a little bit of an edge in both PvE and PvP. So that's why I think Outlaw is an amazing perk for this weapon. And considering it's only, you know, 7 rounds, you're going to be going through that very quickly. So you want some kind of speed reload attached to your Tamir's Lash if you can. So next perk I absolutely 100% will always recommend perfect stability on this weapon, just because, like I said, the stability is horrific. I mean, yeah, I was having difficulty, you know, shooting like thralls and vandals consistently, trying to consistently chain headshots. You know, it just, I mean, obviously it's controllable. You know, it's not like crazy, but it's not something that I'd recommend bringing into a PvP setting without rolling a perfect stability. So that's my second perk that I would absolutely recommend, the one that I have. Now, last but not least, the first one I touched on it a little bit earlier, but Luck in the Chamber. That thing, gosh, it's just amazing, and it seems to come exactly when you need it. You know, I've dealt with a couple of people, and you know, they're rushing me because this is a really slow firing hand cannon. You know, they decide to rush, they decide to push, and you know, I only have time to get one more shot off between then and the time that they try to slide shotgun me, and then bam, it's right there. You know, I got a body shot or so, and then one headshot, 127, put him down for good, and it's great. You know, I don't know how this would necessarily work in Rumble, when you know you're the singular focus of somebody's target. I got to test it out in Rumble a little bit more, you know. But as a support, as a team, roll this gun, because you figure, you know, if anything, the rest of your team is going to be getting shots on them, getting damage on them. So if they pull their shield down at all, and you get a headshot for 95, it's going to kill them. It's going to take them down, you know. And that's something that you got to remember is you know, people talk about, you know, this gun still taking, you know, 2, 3 shots. I mean, sometimes in most cases 3 shots, unless you're getting the Luck in the Chamber, even to a headshot, because it's 95. Most people have a decent amount of armor spec, so they're like, what's the point? But you know, in all actuality, you're not really going to be running into too many people that are going to have 100% health. You know, at some point, if you're sticking together with your team, you're going to be running into people that have taken a few shots and are attempting to deal damage back to you. And you'll see that throughout this video as well, that, you know, the chip damage that I'm doing, it's significant. And if anything, it leads to assists, it leads to kills. It's just, you know, such a powerful weapon that, you know, it puts them in danger every time they poke their head out, you know. So, you know, those are the roles that I was talking about. Now, obviously, this gun does have some drawbacks, you know, as any weapon does, except for like, well, no, even, you know, even like Hawk Moon or, you know, the Last Word or something like that. You know, Last Word's heal is range, and, you know, so everything has its drawbacks. You know, with this gun, to be honest with you, again, that rate of fire, you know, you're gonna be, if you're a Last Word user and you're used to, you know, spamming the trigger, you know, and being a space cowboy, it's not necessarily going to work like that with this one. You got to learn to pick your shots. You got to learn to, you know, go for the head. Because if you're not going for the head, you're not getting headshots, you know, I mean, the gun is still really good, but that's where the gun really shines. You know, that's where you can see how amazing that impact is. You know, you got to make sure. Otherwise, you know, to be honest with you, if you're going for body shots, for like 64, you know, so it's still going to take 4 hits to kill people. Obviously, it's still higher than most. You know, most are hitting for like 49, somewhere right around there, 49 to in the 50 ranges. You know, so, you know, headshots is where it's at with this low rate of fire. Another drawback, I mean, the range, obviously, I mean, it's adequate in PvP, at least. You know, you're not gonna really get into a position where you're not gonna be able to cover that range. You know, the maps aren't that big unless you're, of course, going into combined arms, and you know, maybe it'll be a factor then. You know, but for the most part, everybody is going to be well within your range on these maps. So that's great. You know, you're going to be able to do your max damage to at a pretty far distance. You know, I mean, about this gun, it's just, I mean, that's really the only drawbacks that I can really see about it, especially if you get the right rolls. You know, I see a lot of people, they like the rangefinder perk, but again, I feel like that's a little bit of an overkill. You know, maybe crowd control. I think that would be a pretty awesome perk, especially in PvE. That would be pretty amazing, because you're already, I mean, I went to PvE as well, and you know, I'm hitting people for like 2,000 for headshots. I'm one-shotting, you know, things that previously would take 2 or 3. you know. So I mean, I love this gun, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be my official hard raid, you know, end of Crota gun as well, considering things are going to be a little bit level above us. This may even the playing field, considering how hard it hits. You know, so that's my thoughts on the Tamir's Lash. You know, I really think this is an amazing gun. I think it was well worth the investment of getting to level 5 to pick it up. You know, I'm super excited about you know, getting a little bit better with it. You know, wielding it a little bit more. And you know, I'll continue to post videos. I'm sorry I haven't done too many commentaries. I need to get back on that. But again, this was just, like I said, a freestyle one. I'm actually driving in my car right now and just couldn't wait to get home. You know, just wanted to pretty much have it ready. I want to get it up because I know people are kind of deciding whether or not they want to get it. And, you know, to be honest with you, it should be an absolute yes. It's, I guess, it feels like an exotic hand cannon at times, you know, especially when you're doing that critical damage. So pick it up. Let me know your thoughts on the gun. What rolls did you get? You know, if you disagree, if you agree, I want to hear it. You know, I'd love the feedback. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching.